What's the matter? Look at the perps are now leaving. Chicken shit, huh? Oh, they're leaving. Good for you. Bye bye now. Drove a lot of them, and they run in the opposite direction. There they go, folks. The extremists on campus. That's what I thought. Expose them and cut them down to size. Expose them and cut them down to size. Hi, this is Sylvia Lydia Morelos. I am a UCLA alumna, class of 2003, Bachelor's in Latin American Studies. I'm sitting in the Ackerman Union first level floor, and I've been, I'm a busybody on here working on things, and there are several people on here who are walking out because they don't like being exposed. Where are you going? Where are they going? Oh, it's live and in living color. They don't seem too happy, people. He's hiding over there. They don't seem very happy at all. Look at that. Confrontational, this one. Been exposed and cut down to size. Exposed and cut down to size. Well, that's what happened with. You find some suspicious activity happening, you should expose it, turn it, report to the appropriate agencies, and then expose it and cut it down to size. It diffuses it, and it cuts it down to size. They start to run in the opposite direction because you throw a law at them, law-abiding citizen, and they run in the opposite direction. They've been trying to get me to get off my own computer for a while now, and I'm sick of it. And they're coming into A-level Ackerman and first-level Ackerman using the first-level Ackerman food services as though it was a free-for-all, we're going to go to the mall and eat sort of deal. And they're fundamentalists, a lot of them, and extremists, a lot of them. So now this one's all, this one is very, he wants to make a point that he's in my face. His ass is in my face, this one right here. Yeah, I don't take gang rape threats very lightly, like a group of them ganging up on me and raping my ass. Look at that. And how's the one in the back doing? He's hiding. I wonder why. Look at that, he's hiding. When you're not a criminal, you have nothing to hide, I mean, come on. Yeah, they're walking up here like they're entitled to eat here, and it's open to UCLA. Well, it's open to UCLA community, not a bunch of extremists who want to, and I'm hearing that they want to use me as another scapegoat again and point fingers at me as their leader or some shit. I'm really sick of that crap. I really am. So my name is Sylvia Lydia Morelos. Today is the 8th of April. 2015, and these are the people I'm dealing with. I mean, UCLA, excuse my beautiful looks right now. I'm just having it's one of those days. And I'm, the weather outside seems a little, it's a little breezy, and look at that. Woo! Santa Ana winds or something or other. Anyway, it's the 21st of last month was when the first day of spring hit, I think, correct? And I'm very happy about that. But yeah, they don't seem very comfortable with the camera on their face. So I take security measures, anti-extremism, because a lot of homegrown extremism happens on college campuses. With Raul Bayan Lomeli. He was the person who began this with me because he, when I was 18 and a half and I was an undergrad at UCLA, someone over there doesn't like it very much. The guy stretching his hands out. Oh, look, look at this person getting in my face about it. What are they gonna do? Chop off my head and behead my ass? Yeah, they're not the brightest bunch on the tree. It's kind of embarrassing that I know that they have one thing in common. They're all very dumb, and they become violent, and they have this Botox self-confidence. I say Botox self-confidence. I'm not exaggerating. They're confident to show the rest of the world not only that they're intimidating, but that they are confident as to their stand in life, that they're in the right, they're righteous, self-righteous, and that they know what they're doing and they're in the right. So they wear this 24-hour Botox confidence. And it's kind of funny, really, when you take a look at every single one of them simultaneously. They're either laughing when people are hurting, and then they go about their day like they're normal when they're not. And I think that there should be an initiative against extremism and people coming onto campus in any way, shape, or form, in a normal campus, and prevent them from coming onto campus, because they're not here to keep the peace. They're here to stir up trouble, to scope the place out, things like that. I would encourage people to use their resources and report suspicious activity to dhs.gov or to fbi.gov. My name is Sylvia Lydia Morelos. My credentials are real. I have a bachelor's from UCLA. I'm a Latin American Studies major. It's my alma mater. I'm a UCLA graduate, bachelor's in 2003. One stupid bastard was Jose M. Barrocio from Belmont High School in Bernardino High. Told people that I never graduated college because he could not find me listed on campus. I'm like, does he know anything about FERPA? So you automatically assume that just because you don't find me listed because I chose, it's like let me humor him. It's like being unlisted in the white pages, except that I didn't have to pay for that. Okay, so they jump from one conclusion to the other. I couldn't find her, therefore she didn't graduate. That's the kind of crappy people I'm dealing with. Okay, so and then they say, and then I'm like, so I'm happy, therefore I'm manic. I'm mad, therefore I'm moody. I'm an activist and I'm conservative, but I still believe in LGBT, and I think women are great because they own up to their identity. Lesbians and bisexual women, I think they're great. Women's History Month, I'm anti-misogyny, so I think they're great. So I like women in that sense. So all of a sudden I'm a lesbian or I'm gay. I mean, you know what, simpletons, bye-bye. I just wanted to let the community know that there is stuff going on campus, and that you need to be aware of your surroundings. And there's no need to panic, because the public has the right to know. And be aware of your surroundings. There are identity thieves that they need to be aware of, and illegals in particular. They took off on a tangent. They definitely took off on a tangent with this one. And I think you can see it in the paper, a major newspaper, 6 million illegals detained in the U.S., making fun of 6 million Jews' Holocaust. And there is a lot of anti-Semitism and anti-Mexican this time around. They pulled another 1960s NIH, National Institute of Health, and they're a little confrontational, these bastards, right now. They're in an intellectual community, an educational facility, a facility of higher learning, an institution of higher learning. So they have no right to intimidate and to repress the repression that they're resorting to with their intimidation techniques. You will find a lot of these extremists on campus. They're very smug about it, and Raul Payan Lomeli was one person who helped facilitate illegal immigrants onto UCLA. I find that he was one of my perpetrators, and I reported him to DHS not too long ago. So, oh yes, I did, and now I have one less to deal with, and and I'll be weary of his brothers, because they are also extremists, and I'm a conservative. I'm a libertarian, actually a moderate, pro-conservative, pro-Republican, Bush, the best and brightest only, and Reagan I really like, and a lot of even Democrats like Reagan. I can't stand the Democrats thing, but the civil rights movement is something I believe in. I'm a very outspoken woman, and when it comes to civil rights, I tell these freaks, the white supremacists, during the Second World War, we were less progressive socially with regards to civil rights, and we were whiter as a country and a nation, and we still kick those fucking Nazi asses out there with our allies. Okay, so I'm like, how the audacity of them to hope for a brighter tomorrow with a whiter world. It's really, I'm thinking to it, the audacity of my hope to hope for a brighter tomorrow, period. According to them. And how dare they come into our own backyard and try to start another Third Reich. This is the white supremacy idealist that we have in this world and in this country, and they think it's funny. come tomorrow, they'll have something planned. There was something that I was doing in San Diego, which is really funny. I was on 30th and University, and it started bothering me, so I pulled an impromptu on their asses, and I started speaking. I won the Gene Reynolds Room 222 Leadership Award in 1992 when I was in Los Angeles High School, because I was a public speaker, I was president of 2 clubs, I was a nerd, so it came naturally to speak in front of a group of people, but I was also not self-aware, and I was like 16, 17, and I was asked to help facilitate a conflict resolution workshop when the Rodney King riots happened, and there was a lot of tension on campus. There were the groups, it was 95% Latino and Black, and then in Los Angeles High School 92, and it used to be nicer. There weren't any gangs at the time. They happened after I graduated from UCLA, and they became more downtrodden and stuff like that. So in the 90s, it was different. And I was a nerd, and I'm in the yearbook 92. I have to go back through all my Fourth Amendments, my yearbook class pictures, my birth certificate. They've gone to the point where they've stolen, there come more people, they've stolen everything about me, my Social Security card, my California ID card, and it's happened on more than one occasion in the past. So I can't even access another Social Security card because supposedly I have applied for too many. I have to look into that. And I'm not going to change my name because I have a feeling that's what they want me to do. So my Fourth Amendment rights have been abridged. I'm thinking I have a right to be secure in my personal effects, my papers, and then I'm paraphrasing, my person, my mind, my body. And I see the NSA illegal surveillance as a breaking and entering, because they've stolen from my privacy rights inside my own home, and I would consider that akin to breaking, and it is breaking and entering. They don't have to be there, they're just using illegal technology. Like in the paper, 10 million Americans data theft stolen by these people using NSA surveillance. These people are some of them. Identity thieves as well. And so I have to go through my Fourth Amendment rights and make sure that everything is as it's supposed to be. And anyway, I won the Gene Reynolds Room 222 Leadership Award in high school in 1992. And I helped facilitate a conflict resolution workshop after the Rodney King riots, and there was tension on campus. We were integrated, but the Rodney King riots, I noticed as a teenager, the students started separating into their own cliques, like Koreans, it was Koreans, Black was Blacks, Latino was Latinos, and I was like, I was sitting on top of the second floor building and looking down at them, like I could see it. I was like 16, so when somebody asked me to help facilitate that, I did it in Spanish. My Spanish was a little broken, and it was normal, and I was a nerd, so a cheerleader just laughed at me when I started speaking Spanish, and I didn't have a problem. I mean, it's not personal. I just think back at what happened. I was a nerd because it happens with nerds, and I was also on the pep squad. I was running 2 clubs, extracurricular activities, and I was the 3rd speaker in my high school graduation, 3rd one. And I remember Miss Haskins, our speech teacher, said, that when I saw you go up there with your flashcards, it made me nervous, but you were the best speaker. And I remember this is what I used to do when I was in high school, and it came naturally to me because I was not self-aware. I was a teenager, and when all this stuff started, I kind of looked inside and started bringing it out again. So I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to be more proactive about it. I don't like attention. That's what I'm saying. I don't like to be in the spotlight, and it was done in order to hurt or debilitate. More attention, more spotlight, no privacy, and things like that. So I'm like, I've grown over the years because I put myself in that position to force myself to look inside and look at my resources. What am I good at? Empower your talents, your skills. They don't like quality. Empower your talents, your skills, which you're good at. I was a good speaker. This is what I'm good at. Writing, computers, self-expression, music, diary, journaling, going out there and putting myself out there and exposing it. So far it's been working, but I'm just one person. I'm telling people knowledge is power. With little to no money, I'm on disability because they keep getting in my way. The reason I'm homeless on disability is because of them. It's like trying to explain psychological warfare to a fascist psychiatrist. I went to one psychiatrist and I told him, people are following me around. Persecution. People are following me around everywhere I go. You're paranoid. They're following me around everywhere I go. I'm actually literally trying to speak to this person. Everywhere I fly around, they're there when I'm there, they're there when I'm not there, and I'm self-conscious, and and you're hearing voices. Yeah, but it's technology. It's all in your head, stuff like that. Most people don't even think twice about you, Sylvia. You're not that important. It's all in your head. Sorry, So I'm like, screw it. I'm like keeping up with the Joneses with wannabe medication that I didn't need. So that was my fault. It wasn't forced down my throat. So I ended up gaining 53 pounds. That was over 200 pounds for years, and I'm like, I was miserable. I'm like, oh my god, You'll find me at 206, and I'm back to my normal weight now. Because I got up what I wasn't supposed to be on. I don't have mood swings. I don't hear voices. And I don't feel anxiety anymore. And if anything, the anxiety pills are the ones that calmed me down after a while. And they made me believe that my brothers were deceased, and I was going through hell because of that. So I ended up in the psychiatric ward in New York. So that wasn't fun, and I'm on disability, and it's warranted, And I've always worked since I was 15 years. The one behind looks like Austin Kleon, the one in the pink, and this one looks like the War Dwarfs, Dwarf of the Dwarfs movie. What's that movie? What's his name? The witch movie. What's the name of the movie? I think they know. Look at that. Hollywood is here. Stop hiding. Look at that. And there was someone who looked like Mario Lopez, not too far from the guy with the marine hat. I was like, that's not good. It's like kind of freaky. And when you go to OPCC, they were there too. And someone who snitches, Hollywood snitches, and getting paid to spy on people and using services that don't pertain to them for homeless people and people who need to research and things like that. That's not right. And Santa Monica is very violent, so I'm not going to go back there, and I'm making that an issue. And you cannot force me to go back there because they threatened me with rape, and I'm not going back there. And I'm going to have a difficult time for the eating part, but I don't associate with criminals. So what makes me angry is that the illegals are here illegally to begin with. They're working jobs that they don't have a right to. And they're making people homeless like me, law-abiding citizen, and trying to prevent me from using services that I need to feed myself unless I humiliate myself to them. And they're making money that doesn't belong to them because it's illegal with the jobs that they have. And they're making fun of other people who are suffering, law-abiding citizens, children included, who are born in the United States and deserve their services. I have found inconsistencies with my Bank of America account, and that WikiLeaks was cut off by Bank of America, and there are some illegals, and I can back this up, who are working within Bank of America, who have been, manipulating my account because they're angry with WikiLeaks. They're angry with Bank of America for cutting off WikiLeaks. Shit like that is what I'm dealing with. No more illegals, no more partisan politics at resource centers because we have to eat. Illegals don't need to be there. They earned it. Our apathy, they earned it. In Sacramento, I was there and they said to me, we took over, Sylvia. Deal with it. And I'm like, oh my God. And they stole my disability, Tina White, and Cornell Battle, and they give me an illegal 30-day notice, and I was finally, I think I have a YouTube video with, my apartment, my little, it's actually a single room occupancy, they called it an apartment before, and I was supposed to be paranoid because supposedly to them I am claustrophobic, and I should have been devastated when I saw the room, so I was supposed to leave. I'm like, think again. I'm gonna, I wanted this place because, they tried to reel me in. Kirkwood Craig, there was a bumper sticker on the car, Craig Kirkwood, that when I got to the SRO, Craig Kirkwood, his mom worked for the Actors and Directors Guild of America, and I met him through someone else when I was a freshman in Hitch Suites through Nancy Ho from Chino, and I found her lookalike not too long ago last week in Starbucks. These are the kind of people I'm dealing with, and I'm sick of identity thieves. I really am. And they broke my glasses. I usually wear glasses. And, I was sleeping in Santa Monica somewhere one day, unfortunately, and I woke up and my glasses were broken. They were literally cut through the sides, and they were Dolce & Gabbana glasses, and that's what they didn't like. So I bought those at, anyway, they broke through them. They cut right through them, and that was a threat, and they literally cut right through them. And I've been wearing glasses since I was in 5th grade, and so usually screws are loose or it's bent out of shape on one side, but they were both broken off. The bridges were both deliberately sawed off. Something sawed them, they were sawed off, and it made me angry. But that's how these extremists are. Islamic and ISIS state supporters, extremists like Yolanda Carter and her friends at OPCC. She's bragging about having obtained a job at Jack in the Box recently, right in my face, near me, and she came back, and the Santa Monica cops didn't do anything about it. And they told me, we'll take a message and call you back. And I tried calling back. I tried checking my messages yesterday, 0. I haven't had a chance to look into today, but it's not, going to happen. And right before I left here yesterday, Santa Monica cops have no jurisdiction here. They're from Santa Monica. This is LA County. Sorry. I'm telling these 4 here. Anyway, the Santa Monica cops are no good. So they right in front of OPCC yesterday in the afternoon, she passed by again. 2 squad cars showed up. 2, not 1, 2, to supposedly help someone who was ill. I'm like, that's not good. They're doing it again. And so it's like a police brutality incident, a second one. I went through the first one in Sacramento, California, 2 years ago. This is the second one I go through. And Sacramento cops, to me, equal to Santa Monica cops, and they're just as corrupt as the Sacramento cops, the Santa Monica cops. So I'm not going back to Santa Monica until May 12th. I have a court date to take care of a ticket, a non-traffic infraction on my own OR. I didn't pay it in 2 years ago. It was a non-traffic infraction that went up to a $600 fine, misdemeanor. I went to court a week and a half ago. I took care of it, and they said that they would let it go out, a $600 fine on my own, recognize it with 0 money down, and I would be able to go to court. And I wanted to challenge it, and I want to see the cop who gave it to me 2 years ago. And this should be interesting. So I'm going there, and it'll be next month on the 12th of May at 8:30 in the morning at the courthouse in Santa Monica. And LA County and LA County Sheriff is there. That's what I do like. And so I feel safer because of that. But I'm not going back other than that only, because I don't appreciate the rape threats. So LA County Sheriff I do trust, and the courthouse I do trust, because the law is the law. You cannot bend the law backwards and forwards just for these freaks. So I will be there at 8:30 on 5/12/2015. And that ticket was given to me on the 8th of May 2013 for the 10th of July 2013. The 10th of July was the Zimmerman trial, and I'm not getting into that, but it's very complicated, and I'll get into it eventually. I need to write about it, but that's the date that it was for. And I remember with the technology, I heard the cop say, it was intimidating at the time, and a motorcycle cop, and I go, I'm not afraid of you. And he said, you will be terrified, with the technology, the voice decay, the stuff that we hear, and I know you can hear it, but you will be terrified. The minute that happened, the OPCC staff walked out for lunch, and they were all laughing at me. They turned around, they were laughing at me. It's just a non-traffic infraction. That's all I said to myself. It's just a non-traffic infraction. I think I'll contest it. Maybe I won't contest it. Maybe I'll just let it go. No, I better contest. So I was doing that. But it's more serious than that, and they dawned on me after that. But it's Sylvia Lydia Morelos, and I don't say much, but I've got a lot to write about, and they keep getting in my way regarding that, including coming onto campus. And let me get another little look at the room. They don't seem very comfortable, folks. Him included back there. Live and in living color on YouTube and Google+. Sylvia Lydia Morelos, citizen journalist, blogger, and activist. Shit works. Excuse my language, but it does work. And stay safe and be wary of strangers. Thanks. Bye.